Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. We are back, babies. Welcome everybody to Dr. Oh gosh, what is this? Give me 1 second. That should do it. All right, welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. This guy is Dr. Cush. We are here tonight. We have about like a month and a half-ish before Arizona Tiki Oasis. I know lanterns, don't yell at me. I know that it's already started. I know that there's a little delay and there's already gonna be yelling. We are pretty close to something called Arizona Tiki Oasis. At Arizona Tiki Oasis, I will be teaching a seminar called The Secret of the 7 Cocktails. And there's a whole underline there too, and how to use them in your tiki bar. So what we are going to do tonight is because I'm a man in my 40s at this point. I can't just sit around drinking all day, but I do have a show where I kind of sit around drinking. So I figured what we would do is I'm going to try out some of these cocktails to see if they work for the seminar. I won't tell you guys the final cocktails. You guys can all be surprised when that comes with that going on. And then we will go from there. So we're working out some cocktails tonight. Real quick, this is Frank's D&D account. I have a feeling I know who Frank's D&D account is. When I mention the low-carb cocktail guy that I like playing D&D, Frank jumped in. Frank, the closer it gets, the more it looks like I will not be in Louisiana this year. I've been talking to some investors, and they I guess they aren't investors. They aren't investing. So I don't know what they are at this point, but we're going to figure it out. So that's what we're doing tonight, guys. We're going to try, I got 2 cocktails that I think will do well in a class like this. They will sort of exemplify exactly the tenets of what it is. And then I'm going to attempt a 3rd cocktail that I've never tried before. That right now I'm calling the Dr. Cush. So it had better work out, but we are going to follow the patterns that we know from cocktailing, and we are going to be making cocktails that way. If somebody is taking the class and wants to put into practice the things that I am saying, that they will know what's going on. If you're watching over on Instagram, know that you can comment, and you can get your comments right up here. If you're over on Kick or Twitch or YouTube, you can also do that. And why don't I start like this? I don't think I ever start like this. If you guys want to, hit that like button and subscribe. Like and subscribe. And we'll go from there. Cool. Get my head a little scratch. It's been in a hat all day. Let me say hello to the people. Let me say hello to everybody that showed up to the bar tonight, to this, I would call this an introvert's bar, certainly. You don't have to be around other people. You don't have to chat. If you don't want to, you can just sit and watch. That's fine. Let's see how many of you are sitting and watching. There's no way to tell because I didn't set this up. There we go. I can tell you guys in just a second. How many of you are? Okay, about 20 of you. That's all right. For me, that's good. You don't have to sit and chat, but we do like having you here anyway. And if you do sit and chat, you don't have to say hello to everybody. Kind of an introvert's bar. Let me say real quick, a quick hello to, I got to do this in 2 because for some reason Amy's comment didn't come up. We will not, just real quick, Amy, I read your comment. We will not be using pineapple in anything tonight. So this is a great class for you to jump in on. Let me say hello to our good friend Cocktail Lulu. She will be my cocktail, guinea pig. Okay, there's a pig there. Whew. So I don't think you can just say a cocktail guinea. I think that might, I don't know what that's, it just seems wrong. Maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it just seems wrong. Maybe I'm being sensitive. Let me say hello to our good friend Shani Panabaker, or even better, a good evening Good evening to Shawnee there. Good to see you. Shawnee's been over on his channel or on his Instagram making cocktails. Pop on over to Shawnee's channel. I always forget what it is, Shawnee, but I think it's it just shows up. I think it's Sean P97. Don't just go looking for Sean P97 and then harass that person though. Here are the husbands. They are coming in strong. I did have a little rum. Oh, Cush. That's exactly what's been happening this entire time. This camera is seemingly not working. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can get it to work for the final time. And after that, we're just going to have to figure something else out. Okay, so we got to go into here. We're going to go into G4. Change this. You guys can still hear me, I assume, but you can't see me. Oh, completely not responding. Good. Okay, we'll go here, USB video. We'll change it to this, and then we'll go back here, and then we will change it to USB video, and just pray that that works, because if not, oh yeah, there it is. Hey guys, yeah, I did have a little, I have a little rum thief that lives near the bar, and drank me right out of house and home on my Karuba, so we'll have to replace that Karuba. I looked at it, forgot that it was empty, and now I have to adjust some cocktails tonight. But that's all right. We'll figure it out. DCW Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. Let me remind you guys that the husbands were the winners of the 2024 Cush Tucky Derby. So we got 2 Cush Tucky Derbies and winners in there. Basically celebrities. Basically, more or less, celebrities. Let me say hello to Bootopia. Hello? Hi? What's up? We are live. Don't worry about it. There's a little snow going on in the world. Don't worry about that. We got a little Jay Carter party starter. He is here, ready to go. MJ husband is here, part of the husbands. Let's see, who else we got here? Dougie G with a howdy, y'all. Howdy to old Dougie G in the place to be, ready to see me make drinks. Can I do drinks as an E rhyme? Probably not. Probably not. Avery is here. Avery is allowed to stay after the bar closed. So, Avery, once we figure out how to do that, you are allowed. And I think that's the way to do it. Hello, Kyle Tender. Kyle Tender is watching us over on Instagram. That is a place to be. Paul Bell Amaro. Wow, is there whiskey in these potential cocktails? Probably, and let me just say, probably not. Not today, anyway. I don't know if Arizona Tiki Oasis gets a lot of whiskey, sponsors. I have to use sponsor stuff, so I don't think so, but I'll look into it. Let me say hello to the Alex Kazam. Let's go. Love cocktail patterns. My favorite is the corduroy, but my cocktails always taste funny. Is corduroy a pattern? It must be a pattern. I don't know anything about clothes. Look at me. This is a I think it's a size triple extra large shirt, and it is green. That's all I know about it. Greetings to you as well, Moose. You are good to go. Oh, there were some questions real quick about Tiki Oasis. If you want to go to Tiki Oasis in Arizona, you do not have to. You do not have to buy tickets to Tiki Oasis to take my seminars. You can buy the seminars a la carte. Pop on over to AZ Tiki Oasis. I am, and this is very different than the last time we did this. I'm kicking the whole thing off this time. Last time I spent the entire weekend incredibly nervous about how to do my cocktail. Now I will have to spend it incredibly nervous about how my cocktail seminar was received. Will somebody come up and kick me in the shins for giving them a bad seminar? I don't know. I'll have to watch my shins the entire weekend. So hopefully I'll have some of you guys there to block my shin stuff. And there we go. Chris Ryan asking, is Cush out of AZ? Technically, yes, I am out of AZ. The bar is in California. But I am a prodigal son of AZ. I guess I haven't gone back there. I think that's what prodigal means. But I am from Arizona originally. So hopefully I'll get some of my weirdo friends from AZ to show up too. You guys can meet some of my weirdo friends. And there we go. Beach Bum Barry is going to be there. Beach Bum Barry will be at Tiki Oasis. So you don't have to just get my seminar. There are other great seminars. Beach Bum Barry will be there and ready to go. Yeah, my thing is at 7 p.m. Or sorry, 1 p.m. not 7 p.m., 1 p.m. on Friday. I will be plying you guys with alcohol. They have upped their alcohol ability here. Their alcohol limits here a little bit. We're doing a large drink to begin with, and then 2 regular size drinks. So get ready. I got to figure out which large drink we're gonna do. We're gonna get into it though. Let's figure it out. We are going to start with, oh darn it, do I have some? Dang. Hey Kyle, buy the there's a bottle of Brando gin. It's on the counter. Would you mind grabbing that for me on the black and white counter? That would be great. I'm going to need that here for a second. We're going to get into it. So the theory of this class, guys, and we're going to get way into it. I'm not going to give you all the stuff we're doing. I even have a slideshow that I'm making this time. The theory of this class is that there are only 7 cocktails, and I live by that. That is absolutely something that has not. That is a theory that is that has not been broken for me at this point, and so I continue to work on this theory. In the end, it really is just 7 cocktails. So we're going to go over the 7 cocktails. Not today. I'm just going to go over the cocktails that we're making today and sort of walk you guys through how to make these. We're going to start with a great cocktail category called a daisy. A daisy. Some guys listen. Oh, it's, you know, my show. I can just sit and chat with you guys, right? Let me just grab this real quick. Is it right there? What did I do with it? I just had a book that I was reading. And oh, there it is. I'm going to reach over the bar and grab it. There we go. It sits on these bar stools. There we go. Thanks, Kyle, for bringing that into me. Appreciate you. Cheers, buddy. You are Kyle. So thank you for being Kyle. There are theories out there that exist, specifically in this book, that talk about the exact same thing as what I am talking about, these 7 cocktails. However, they only have 6 cocktails. And I think they miss a pretty specific cocktail in this one, which is the punch. I did an entire class on the punch for Tiki Oasis last time. Let me just make sure this is still working. It is not. Darn it. I don't know why this camera has decided it is no longer going to work, but we're going to have to do all of our close-ups here tonight. They have 6 cocktails. They have the Old Fashioned, the Martini, the Daiquiri, the Sidecar, the Whiskey Highball, and the Flip. Those are fine. Those are great cocktails, but they missed out on the punch. But when they talk about the Sidecar, they're talking about a daisy. A daisy is basically it evolves from a daiquiri, more or less. It evolves from the daiquiri. It evolves from a lime cocktail, from a mojito, from all of the the lime cocktails, the grogs, the daiquiris. But then it gets in grand cocktail tradition, it gets more complicated. In terms, it gets fancy. When we fancy something up, we are going to be putting in some orange liqueur. It doesn't always have to be orange liqueur, but that is a pretty standard one. If you don't add orange liqueur, then you're going to have to justify it somewhere else. Bootopia asked what that book was. That is Death & Co.'s book called The Cocktail Codex. It's a great book. If that's going to be your first Death & Co. book, I would not recommend that one. I would instead recommend their other book, which is this one, which is called Death & Co. Modern Classic Cocktails. This is a really great book for not just beginners, but all kinds of people. The Cocktail Codex is more theory-based, but at some point I get a little theory-based. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to follow the recipe for a pretty basic daiquiri, and then we're going to add some orange liqueur to it. We're going to increase the depth of the cocktail. Now, there are lots of cocktails that fall into this. We know that the Margarita is named Spanish for daisy. The daisy became the Margarita. So the Margarita is probably the most famous of all of the daisies. Oh, I think we can agree the Margarita is probably the most famous of all of those. But other great cocktails that live in this realm are some of my other favorites. I think maybe daisies are my favorite cocktails. In the tiki world, there's the Mai Tai. Mai Tai is certainly a daisy. It follows that same formula. It's going to be 2 3/4 3/4 half. That's a standard daisy, but we can start to mess with balance. That's how we get to where we're going. Another one of my very favorite cocktails, and don't tell anybody, the Cosmopolitan. Love a Cosmopolitan. I don't normally put a Cosmopolitan in an up glass. I like it, tall and on the rocks. But that adds a little orange liqueur to some lime, a little bit of cranberry juice, and some vodka. A really, really lovely cocktail. But then we can get into a sort of deeper bits of this. And one of the deeper versions of this is a cocktail called the Corpse Reviver. The Corpse Reviver #2. Corpse Reviver #2 is a pretty simple cocktail. It's all equal parts. So we start to mess with the balance a little bit, and we are able to come up with really sort of deep, balanced flavors. That is going to be some gin. That is going to be some lime juice. That is going to be a little bit of vermouth, usually Lillet. And then we are going to mix in our orange curacao. And that's going to give us our daisified gin cocktail. It's a daisified gin cocktail. Obviously, you can make a Corpse Reviver, that's great, but I feel like if we can start to mess with other balance in there, we can start to sort of expand this. So we're going to be doing a drink right now that is these are all originals. These are all original Dr. Cush cocktails. We're doing one called the Kapuka. The Kapuka is a version of this that uses a different type of gin. Normally we would just throw in some London Dry and call it a day, but we're going to be using this. Oh gosh, that's not working. I'm going to fix it one more time, and then we're going to call it a day. Give me 1 second. I know how annoying this is. Trust me, it's way more annoying on my side to have to continuously fix the cameras, but that is just what it's going to have to be for a moment. We're going to go over here, and then we'll go here, and then we will wait a second because apparently Dr. Cush needs a new computer. Did not realize how much computering I'd be doing, starting a show on the computer. And yet here I am. Give me a second. Anyway, so we're going to be using this guy right here. This is our good friend. Oh, that's not what I want. 1 second. Okay, that's off. Now we'll go to USB video there, and that should be where we want it to be. Any chance? Any chance you're going to work? Any chance you're going to work? Please, please, please. Don't embarrass me. Okay. Oh, good. Now this one's off. This is working out great, guys. We're doing all the right stuff right now. Oh gosh, this is my nightmare. 1 second. 1 second. We're just gonna. This is a test show, proof of concept that we can absolutely do a show. This is going to be in. Oh gosh, what's this one called? Is this game capture? None of these cameras working? Oh my gosh. All right, well, we're going to have to do the show from this one. Oh, there we go. Hey, guys. Anyway, we're going to be using this. This is Brando Gin. Brando Gin has created, in my opinion, a new style of gin. They have this stuff called Motu Gin. Motu Gin. Now, Motu is a Polynesian word meaning, anybody? Island. This is an island gin. It is Marlon Brando's company, or Marlon Brando's estate has put this out. And so we are now going to be switching out our gin. And then we're going to be adding a little bit of depth to this with just a little bit of maraschino liqueur. So let's build this. I'll show you guys how this works in how a cocktail is built. And go from there. Is that still working? All right, well, we're still working. Yeah, the technology gets me every time. It's, really, technology is, it's the worst. Can we stop? I feel like, I think we're done, right? We have everything we need. Do we really need to keep doing new things? Can't we just stop? Can we just sit around and drink now that we got everything we need? Okay, let's build this one. The technical, the real daisy, 2 3/4 3/4 half. That's a really basic thing, really basic recipe. We're now going to start to mess with that just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and grab our gin. And instead of 2, we're going to put in 3/4. 3/4 of an ounce of some gin here. It's not going to work. 3/4 of an ounce of some gin. There we go. Cannot tell you how frustrating that is. I am mad at you, tiny camera. I do not care for what you are up to in life. And I really, really hope that one day I can repay the favor. This right here, I'm doing it every time. This right here is lime. This right here is lime. Dougie G saying, we keep teasing us with the gin. We can't get it anywhere. That is true. It's very difficult to find right now, but I promise you, if you come to the Arizona Tiki Oasis, I will have bottles upon bottles upon bottles. We will send people home with bottles of this gin. So, you know, we will, I promise, if you are a Tiki Oasis, Arizona Tiki Oasis attendee, you will try Brando Motu Gin. We're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce of some lime juice. It's a nice way to just build an equal parts cocktail for the most part. Yes, room party. Room party. I will be staying at my mom's house, so no parties in my mom's house's rooms. She has already told me that when I was 17, I'm not allowed to have room parties. So we will figure something out. Okay. The orange. We got to get some orange in here. 3/4 of an ounce of the stuff that makes this a fancy drink. This is some orange curacao, or it is technically brandied orange, but 3/4 of an ounce of something like an orange curacao, a triple sec, an orange liqueur, basically. There we go. Doing great here. And then party in Kyle's room. That'd be fun. Hola, amigos. Let the lessons begin. Absolutely, Old Man Zombie. Good to see you. Old Man Zombie's watching us over on Instagram. If you guys are over on Instagram, say hi. Technically, this drink is just sort of elongated. Whenever we put in a vermouth into a drink, I always just like to think of it as elongating the drink. It makes it so that there is more drink, but not as much alcohol. There is some alcohol, but vermouth will often, I don't want to say disappear into a drink, but it sort of backs up the alcohol. So it isn't so, you know, we could put in 2 ounces of the gin here, but then it becomes a full-on gin drink. We're not catching all those other flavors. So we're going to bring in the vermouth to just sort of back this up a little bit, but we're not going to put in a full part of the vermouth. Instead, we're going to grab a little bit of this Martini and Rossi. There we go. Martini and Rossi, the Asti Spumante, guys. I'm just going to, since I got to use this camera constantly, I'm just going to give this a little bit of a there we go. At least try and win an award from that side. There we go. We're gonna put in 1/2 of an ounce of some vermouth, just to sort of bring everything up in this cocktail, just to make sure that it is a full cocktail. Use a dry. You don't need to use a sweet in this cocktail. The gin that I'm using right now is sweet. I guess if you are using a very dry London gin, you could absolutely work on it with a sweet vermouth, like a Blanc or something. Next thing we're going to be putting in here, one of my favorite ingredients of all time. This is Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. I am now working with a bunch of Italians, and you guys are kind of nice about when I say maraschino. They, turns out, are not very nice about it. So I am going to have to really beat it into myself that it is maraschino. Otherwise, the Italians will be disappointed in me, and there's nothing you want less than Italians. You don't want that. Oh, we're just going to put this in to bring up, again, just the maraschino liqueur adds a bit of a spice to this. It brings in some of that cherry flavor, some of those woody flavors, some of those, let's see if we can get more. I think cherry and wood. Can we just stop at cherry and wood? We just need a 1/4 ounce. So hit this with just a 1/4 ounce of some maraschino liqueur. And there we go. The nice part about this is if you are using If you're using pseudo juice, the way that I make it does end up being fairly clarified. This camera works, so we can bring this guy in. Does end up being pretty clarified. So you notice that is still a pretty clear drink. We stan a clear king here at this bar, so that is good for us. Sometimes clear is the most shocking in all of cocktail making. If you have ever been served a clarified pina colada, you will know that when you get that really beautiful clear cocktail, it is kind of stunning. I always like getting a nice clear cocktail. It makes me feel like I am on a diet. I don't know why. I don't think that color has calories. I am not a light scientist. Clearly, I'm just a cocktail doctor. But it always makes me feel like I'm doing something nice for myself, having clear. You know, water's clear, Sprite's clear. I feel like Sprite is much, much healthier than Coca-Cola. I gotta believe it. Go ahead and drop this in. There we go. And we will give it a shake. Most daisies you're going to shake. Most daisies are going to be a plurality, or at least a lot of citrus juice. Citrus juice, you're going to give it a shake, but you don't need to give this a big shake. Just a nice, easy shake. Something just back and forth. Something where you can still talk through it. If I do this for 3 minutes, I'm not going to be out of breath. Most people won't be out of breath. My cardio is declined over these past few years, and we're going to serve this one up. As for most daisies will be served on a rock. But when you start to get into the equal parts daisies, certainly you will find that they will be served up. We're going to go ahead and pour this guy right in here. We have this beautiful, the little bubbles that come from shaking. I guess I don't have to worry about blocking that camera anymore. I'm just worried about blocking that camera. We have these beautiful bubbles that live inside this drink. But as those bubbles sort of sit, it will become more and more clear. Because I used a pink gin, this should have just an overall edge of pink. This is why we're doing this now and not so that I'm owing in the middle of my seminar. The reason that I threw in the Luxardo is because not only are we making this cocktail a fancy cocktail, which it certainly is, it certainly falls in the category of fancy cocktails by the addition of the Grand Marnier, but we are also making this cocktail an improved cocktail. Improved cocktails can come in two different ways. It can come in either adding a little bit of absinthe, or it can come in the form of maraschino liqueur. If you add those to your cocktails, technically, it's an old term. I don't exactly know where it comes from, and I should look into it. That is improving your cocktail. So if you go into a drinking or to a bar, you and your horse, you guys walk into the bar, everybody starts laughing already because they know the joke. And you sit down at the bar and you say, hey, I'd like an old fashioned, but make it improved. They should either make a decision for what their bar is going to do, either throw in a little bit of absinthe or a little bit of maraschino liqueur, and there you have it. Now, I talked long enough that this did get clearer. Those bubbles settled. That is why for like a martini, for like a straight martini, you don't really want to shake a straight martini. Straight martini will come out looking white if you drop it in front of somebody. Even if you get the exact right dilution, you will still come out with a white cocktail. The fun part about a martini is that it is clear. It is 0 calories. But it will come out looking nice and clear like this, even if you let it sit there for a second. We wanted to get that lime juice incorporated, though. We wanted to get a little bit of motion into this cocktail, and this is it. So this is my cocktail called the Kapuka. It is a tiki cocktail. Do all bartenders know what is meant by improved? I'll be very honest with you, old man zombie. Not all bartenders know how to make a rum and coke. So, and I don't mean to poo-poo on my industry. But my industry, there are certainly people that really like being bartenders, that do the work, that see it as a career. It certainly is a career. For me, it was a career for a long time. But there are also a lot of people that show up and pour drinks, dance around, flirt with you, and listen to your problems, and then walk home with thousands and thousands of dollars. That's also a very viable way to get through this. So I would say most bartenders do not understand what the term improved is, and that does not make them worse bartenders. Let me rephrase that. That does not make them. Mm, it means that they have their priorities elsewhere, right? I love the history of cocktails. I like to see the patterns in things. Whenever I walk into a room, I turn the light on 3 times. My hands are never clean enough. Some of those things have to do with something. I don't know what that is. I've never been diagnosed with anything, but if you walk into a bar and you say you want to improve, unless you want to have a real deep conversation with your bartender, maybe just say you want a little bit of maraschino liqueur in there. This is the Kapuka. This is my attempt at a really beautiful cocktail with like a clear martini-esque cocktail that fits within the tiki pantheon. Because we are using the Motu gin, the island gin, I think we're getting really close. Cheers to you guys. I mean, I can't freak out. I know what this thing tastes like. It's delicious. It's a perfectly balanced cocktail. If you want in this cocktail, you can add a little bit more of the gin if that's what you're interested in. But I do think that finding that gin with the dry vermouth, you do not have to use Lillet in this one because we are adding the maraschino in there. If you're not going to add the maraschino, it might be worth to add the Lillet. The Lillet is a cinchona based vermouth. I'm sure there's wormwood in there as well, but it's certainly cinchona based, the same stuff they make tonic out of. So you're going to get a bit more of that bite. The bite comes from the maraschino liqueur, and that is where we're at right here. It is very, very nice. Boy, that is nice. Good start. It's a good start. Cocktail Lulu's demanding one now. Old Man Zombie. And that looks good. Thank you, Old Man Zombie. Coqui Americano Blanc. Yeah, Coqui would also do you really well. Coqui's got a little bit more spice even than the vermouth. Coqui is a beast unto itself. You can absolutely do Coqui in here. You can mess with, and that's I think the plot of this entire talk is start messing with stuff. Don't worry about just following the instructions exactly. Find the instructions, find what that drink reminds you of, and then once you've learned what you like about each of these things, then you can add those bits to it. If you find that Lillet Blanc doesn't do anything for you, maybe Lillet Rouge would do something for you. If you don't like Lillets at all, you got into a fight with the Lillet company or the Lillet family a while ago, maybe you said that part of their formula was made from crushed bugs and old oil runoff. I mean, I've been there. I told a whole company that their stuff was made from crushed bugs and old oil runoff, and they currently don't love me. That's fine. If you're in that exact same fight, you're wrong on the lay. They don't use crushed bugs, but if you will find yourself in that situation, yeah, find some Coqui, find some Dolin Blanc, find I don't know. There's thousands of great vermouths out there. It's just wormwood wine. I have pink sweet gin. I may have one. I think it's time. You get in there. Make yourself a kapuka. Oh, kapuka is a Polynesian word, or sorry, Hawaiian word, meaning necromancer, somebody that brings you back to life. That's where I got the name of this. So that's not rocket science. I just went into my Hawaiian dictionary. I looked up corpse survivor, and it was there. I said, "Oh, Kyle, I guess Kyle probably wants this." Kyle, I have a feeling that that this bottle didn't just spring a hole on the bottom. I have an odd feeling that Kyle got into it, so we will figure it out. Kyle, do you want this? Dolin Blanc really changes the softness of the drink, in my humble opinion. Here you go, Kyle. Coming in. There you go, buddy. Enjoy. Do you want to, since I can't judge my own drink, you got to tilt it forward. There you go. Do you want to give that a taste and maybe give us a review? Dust it for glove prints. I will dust it for glove prints. I think that's a good idea. Okay, here it comes. This is our review. That right there is a glove. Kyle gloves the cocktail. Remember, glove, galike, gahate. So Kyle gloves the cocktail. That is great. We love that. And we love that for him. We're probably at the thing that we're doing at the seminar. We're not going to start with that cocktail. I feel like that cocktail is a little complex in the explanation. We sort of have to explain a few things getting up there. You guys are old pros at this, but I feel like some of my people that are showing up will be less pro-ish than you guys are. So, we will probably start with a drink similar to this one. We've made this on the show before, but I wanted to make it again so that I remember exactly what it is, and then we will go from there. Now, I know that some of you are allergic. I just happen to know some of your allergies. Now, some of you guys are allergic to grapefruit, so we will be using grapefruit in here, but it's easy to switch out a little dang it, I keep forgetting that one's broken. Can I fix it one more time? I just want to try one more time, and then I promise I'll be done. I love that camera angle so much, and that's where my feet want to be. So give me 1 second to see if we can get that there. We'll go here, and then I will come back to you guys right now. There we go. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, we've made this cocktail on the show before, certainly, but we are going to try it again. This is an old Dr. Cush cocktail called The Living Dead. I made this a while ago. We did a series called The 7 Cocktails. Hi, everybody. We did a cocktail called The 7 Cocktails, a whole series on them. And this was my example of how you can make a seemingly boring drink. I mean, nobody's going to say that the old-fashioned is revolutionizing the world, right? It's an old-fashioned, bitters, sugar, sometimes a little bit of water, usually just a little bit of ice, and some whiskey or some brandy. That's it. But there's a lot of ways to play with those things. We say bitters. Bitters used to just be medicine. It used to be either you got Peychaud's bitters, never going to get that one right. I don't have any French people in my life yelling at me right now yet. Give me a day or two. Or you had like Angostura bitters, something in that medicinal stuff. Now, with the Fee brothers, with all these guys out there making 1,000 different versions of bitters, we can start playing with our bitters stuff. So this is a cocktail called The Living Dead. We're going to be making it in glass. That's what I like most about it. There we go. Look at that for right now. That's going to work for another 5 minutes, I think. Dog, I used chat to come up with grapefruit alternative. The one I tried this evening was 3/4 ounce lime juice, 1/4 ounce orange juice. Worked great in the zombie I made. That sounds amazing. If you guys can find an alternative for grapefruit juice, I think that's a good idea. Shawnee, if I can give you a little piece of advice. I know that this is a controversial ingredient in things, but there is MSG, monosodium glucamide, I think, or glucamate, in grapefruits as well. So maybe just a pinch of MSG will help you to sort of bring out some of that, some of the deeper flavors in grapefruit juice. Just a little FYI. Just one of those things that I happen to know. Okay, let's get into this one. This is an old-fashioned style drink, but it is going to be, we're basically using sugar. We are using whiskey. No, sorry, we're using rum, sugar, booze, and bitters. Let's start with the bitters, why not? We're going to start with our grapefruit bitters. If you want to put a couple dashes of grapefruit bitters in here, you're all ready. What is going on with this camera? Hello. We're just not going to use it. I'm defeated. Go ahead. Thank Shawnee Pandabaker said thanks, Fock, and that makes me laugh. Thank you, Shawnee Pandabaker, for giving me a big old thanks, Fock. We're going to take some of these guys. These are grapefruit bitters. We're going to put in a few dashes right there. They certainly smell like grapefruit. All we're doing here is we're combining all of the flavors that we know in a zombie, and then we are going to create them in the style of an old fashioned. So we're going to reach in here. We have our bitters in there. We also need to put in some sugar. 2 different bits of sugar that go into a zombie. One of those, I can just put it right here. One of those is cinnamon syrup. This is cinnamon syrup 1-to-1, and some of it is grenadine. Instead of just putting in regular old simple syrup, I think it would be a great idea to start flavoring your simple syrup. You want to start to expand what your cocktails are. Think about the big tiki flavors. Think about almond. Think about clove. Think about cinnamon. Think about grenadine. Think about all of these flavors that we find in a lot of different cocktails, and put them into your simple syrup. Very simple way to get through this. We're just going to take a little bit of this cinnamon 1-to-1 syrup. We're just going to be putting in about half of an ounce. Is this completely gone? Yeah, now it's completely gone. We're going to give you a break. I'm just going to turn you off. We're going to go ahead and put in half of an ounce of some cinnamon syrup. Cinnamon simple syrup. I'm sure there are people in the world that make some sort of cinnamon syrup. I don't know exactly what they're up to, but this is just cinnamon simple syrup. We make it the exact same way we make all of our other simple syrups. We just boil some sugar and some water together, and then we throw in our cinnamon sticks and let those sort of steep, get all of that flavor of the cinnamon. I like to throw the cinnamon stick in there afterwards. I'm not going to reuse that cinnamon stick anyway, and then my cinnamon syrup will gain some intensity as it sits in the refrigerator. Not so much that it's like a red hot or anything, but pretty simple. This is grenadine. We know grenadine. We make grenadine here. It is Palm Wonderful pomegranate juice, equal parts sugar and Palm Wonderful pomegranate juice. Very simple. It does go into a regular zombie, so we're going to put it in here. We're going to go ahead and put in just a spoonful of that stuff. Yum. Grenadine is certainly delicious. Nothing wrong with a little grenadine. We're going to split our base. We know, of course, that our good friends at the Zombie Factory split their base. We're going to start with a wonderful Jamaican rum. We're going to be using Bon Bon and Smith & Cross. Very, very difficult bottle to get your hands on. Smith & Cross, super easy to find, but once Bon Bon gets involved, it becomes a whole different beast. We're going to put in 1 ounce of some Jamaican rum. There we go. Throw this back. While we're throwing it back, we're going to grab our next rum. We need 2 different rums on this one. We need a Jamaican and we need a Caribbean rum. Caribbean rum I will be using today is going to be our our Kiss rum. This is the Black Diamond. It comes from multiple different islands, different cane from different islands. It's a big old blend. There are lots of great rums that you can use in this. Find something from the Caribbean to mix it with something from the Jamaican rum, and then you are on Zombie Road. 1 full ounce of a Caribbean rum. Anybody else had Pink Pony Club in their head for the last 3 years? It's in there. Okay. There are obviously other things we need to be putting in here. We need to get, I think I have some lime bitters up here. 1 second. Let me just find my lime bitters. If I don't, then I'm going to, lemon bitters. Lemon bitters will do fine. Just find the citrus bitters. Even if you want to use a little orange bitters, that's fine. We're going to be putting in 2 dashes of some citrus bitters. That right there is going to give us the lime, lemon, normally lime, but lemon that goes into the zombie. And then we have to give this a little bit extra flavor. So we have our sugar in there, we have our bitters, we have our booze, but the zombie comes out pretty specific. There we go. There's 1. Give me a second. I think I have 2 in here. There we go. These guys right here are perfume bottles, but instead of having perfume in them, they have things like absinthe. Should we prove it to you guys that we have absinthe here? I think people like the fire. Break out one of these. Grab me a couple of these. Fans on. We're going to see if we can still get it to work. Throw it in here. Grab our absinthe. And give it a spray. Ooh. Grab this guy. This is 151 rum. Oh. What's your deal? You good? All right. I can't tell. Is it fun when the show doesn't work? I can't tell. I'm not having fun, but sometimes people like when things don't work out well. We'll throw this in here for right now. Get rid of those in a second. We are going to switch this up a little bit. We are going to move. I hate those things. I hate these things. I bought these. Let me give an anti-plug. What do you call an anti-plug? Somebody where you don't like what they're doing. Bevmo. Anybody ever heard of Bevmo? Bevmo sells those. Don't buy those from Bevmo. Find some other place that sells what you're up to. So instead, you know what? We'll give him a shout out anyway. This is Michael Husband's bottle of 151. We're just gonna put a couple drops of 151 in here. That's what we go. That's what we want. Just a couple drops. Or if you have a working atomizer, give that a nice spray. So if you look at this right now, you would not really confuse this cocktail at all with a zombie. This certainly looks way more like it is an old fashioned, and you would be correct because the style in which we have created this is we followed the basic tenets of an old fashioned, but we went through and found new ingredients. We followed a little pattern of ingredients, and we made this. My goodness. I probably should have taken one more day off before I came back, but we're gonna grab a little bit of ice, toss this in here. Beautiful piece of crushed ice. It kind of looks like it has been through the zombie apocalypse at this point. It wouldn't come out of its home. I get the cheap plastic atomizers from Walmart Travel and Trial section. Well, that's a good idea. Do they work? Oh, Visky on Amazon equals good atomizer. Visky always has pretty good stuff. I like a Visky. I mess with a Visky. Right there. Yeah, I would say definitely do not buy the crappy ones from Bevmo. The reason I go to Bevmo for one thing and one thing only, and that is because they have $35 1.75 liters of Myers rum, and that's the only time they know me as that rum guy. Oh, they're 97 cents. I think I might have spent $10 a piece on these ones. So at this point, I am leaving the girl that I went to prom with, and I'm going home with the 97-cent one. This is the drink right here. It is, it's a big, thick drink. It has a lot, if not all, of the flavors of an old fashioned, but it certainly comes in much stronger. Sorry, has all the flavors of a zombie. Comes in looking like an old fashioned, but it is meant to be drank like it is an old fashioned, not a zombie. 2 of these only, guys. Smells like you got it. Yeah. Yeah. Some people are adverse to having their cocktails in tall, funny glasses. I think those people are no fun. I don't think that those people are a lot of fun. I'm sure that they are great at business, probably good at flying planes. I probably have traded stock once or twice in their life. Those people, that's fine. That's good for you guys. You guys want your old fashioned? Great. This is a great way to spice up your old fashioned. Using the style of an old fashioned, but then getting into the nuts and bolts of tiki drinks. I just got an atomizer off Amazon for $8. Everybody to Walmart. Let's go support the Waltons. 2-ounce blue glass spray bottles from Amazon. Do those work? I would love it if they were glass. I really, I'm not real crazy about putting alcohol into plastic. Yeah, glass would be good. Blue ones. All right, I got some shopping to do. I'll have 3 more drinks and then go shopping. That's my favorite thing to do. All right, Kyle, I don't think you're going to like this one, but you're more than welcome to have it. Kyle doesn't drink a lot of old fashions because whiskey makes Kyle, what? Angry. You think Kyle is always pleasant? One of the reasons that we don't do a lot of whiskey, the reason we're not doing a full whiskey winter is because Kyle does, as it turns out, get angry with a little whiskey. So he's punching. This is rum, so you'll be all right. We don't need to get into a full knockdown, drag out battle. There you go, buddy. If you want to decorate it, you can with a little bit of mint. Do you want to give us a review on that? Amy Beer's asking what the name of the drink is. The name of the drink is The Living Dead. The Living Dead. That was not a review. There is no, yeah, that was not I didn't get a review. So, all right, well, I guess we're not getting a review. I guess that's a punch. There we go. Gosh, we went late. Okay, we're going to try one real quick, guys. We're going to try a cocktail called the Dr. Cush. It is based off of a cocktail called the Dr. Funk. I have not finished this cocktail yet. I do not know everything that goes into it yet, but we are going to be doing a few things with it. We're going to start again with some Smith & Cross. We are going to be splitting our base. This is based off a cocktail group called the Highball. The Highball, there's a lot of fizzes in the Highball, but the Highball more or less occurs. Add it to the list. Oh, okay, great. There's a lot of highballs that don't have any fizz in them, but a highball occurs when you add a majority of the drink. The majority of the drink is either low ABV ingredients or no ABV ingredients, and oftentimes those will be either juices or they will be fizzy stuff. So let's get into this one. We're gonna do 1 ounce of a Jamaican rum. We're going to be going ahead and putting in 1 ounce. I like this combo. I love the combo of Caribbean and Jamaican rum. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1 ounce of some of this stuff right here. This is our Caribbean rum. There we go. Bloop. Looking good. Looking good. Drop this off here. Same, a lot of same. Guys, we're going to go ahead and reach down here and find whatever we did with our, not our ginger, with our grenadine. There it is. Grenadine, just a little bit of grenadine, about a 1/4 ounce of grenadine in here. Just really grenadine just to give it a little bit of a little bit of pink. Obviously, these are very dark rums, so the pink might not come through, but that's all fine. And then instead of flavoring this completely with any kind of Demerara simple syrup or anything like the Dr. Funk has, we're going to go ahead and put in some Velvet Falernum. Now, I would put in my own Velvet Falernum, but there is no chance on earth that I will be able to make enough of the homemade clarified Velvet Falernum for Tiki Oasis. And so, thus, because I know that I will fail, I am not going to try. That's a Cushman tradition, and we're going to continue on with that. 1/2 ounce of some Velvet Falernum. We're going to do a few dashes of absinthe. Now, currently, this is an awful lot of booze. So, in order to highball this, we do have to add some fizz to sort of bring the temperature down in this cocktail a little bit. So, we have some Topo Chico ready to go. We don't want to shake with Topo Chico we want to instead. I pulled these out like moments when I should have been checking the cameras. I was cutting ice, so this is a lot my fault at this point. We're gonna grab this guy, throw him in here. Whoop. There we go, and we're gonna give this a big old fatty shake. What is a punch? I see. I was thinking you were saying. I was thinking you were saying like Georgia punch. What's gla punch? That doesn't make any sense. Or like a glove punch, gla. I think punch works. I think just putting the G in front of it works for you. Give this a nice fast shake. Again, I've never tried this cocktail. I feel like just adding a little bit of the Velvet Falernum is not enough to change this cocktail up. But we are still following the rules. There we go. We are still following the rules of a highball, and so we're gonna see how we do. And then should we do the show again tomorrow? I feel like maybe tomorrow we might. Kyle, I'm gonna need a good glove or a good cloth, if you don't mind, a good towel. I promise I'll let you guys go here in a second, but can you get me a good towel real quick? Just go ahead and throw that right in here. Thank you. Jeez Louise, wow. Kyle, I feel like Kyle's just out there pounding whiskey. He is a, have I said hello to Bon Bon yet? Oh, there we go. There she is. My friends, I was drinking for my birthday. February 6th? How do we miss Bon Bon's birthday? Well, gosh darn it. Was February 6th, was that Thursday? Should have had a show on that day? This is all bad. Nothing's going well. Okay, well, we're going to have to sing to Bon Bon. So everybody get a little la la la. And, we're going to sing to Bon Bon here in a minute. I think it's important. Okay, this is what we got here. We're going to go ahead and throw in our soda water. At a certain point, this goes from just a bit of a sparkly, like a bit of a sparkly, I haven't put everything in here. Give me a second, guys. Listen, not every show will win awards. We need a little bit of lime juice in this one. We're going to go ahead and put in 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Oh my gosh. Sometimes all you can do is just laugh it off. We'll give it a big squeeze. What I was going to say is what we're doing right now by adding the soda water, we're taking it from just kind of a fizzy version of a daiquiri, a fizzy version of a sour cocktail. We are then going to just sort of lower the ABV to a point where this is now a much more sip and drink than it is a like a straight to your face, to use the parlance of our time, a punch drink, a punch you right in the face drink. Give this a stir so we don't have lime juice just like hanging around. We do want to end this one up. We're going to grab these bitters. Amy Beer sponsors these bitters. We're going to throw like 5 dashes of bitters on top. And there we go. This is not the final form of this cocktail. This is, unless it's delicious, and then screw it, we're not going to work with it anymore. But this, just following with what we know about how cocktails are built, and specifically how highballs are built, this one, there is no chance that this one will be a bad cocktail. We put in everything that we like in here. We put in some grenadine, we put in some Velvet Falernum, we put in 2 different types of rum, some bitters, some lime, and some soda water. This should turn out to be really good. We want to be able to play with a little bit more, so I didn't have a third drink going into tonight, so I figured we'd make one on the fly. I do love it. I do love it. We're going to think about it. It follows the conventions. That's what we need it to do. Specifically for this class that we're teaching, that I'm teaching, we do need it to follow the conventions. But with a highball, you can run into very quickly. The problem with a highball, you can run into the mixer being way too much. Think about a really crappy screwdriver, right? Where they'll give you a whole pint of orange juice. Nobody on earth needs to drink a pint of orange juice in a week. But they'll give you a whole pint of orange juice and they'll put one shot of vodka in there. You're like, it tastes like orange juice, but it's making me sleepy. That's not what you want. You got to have all those big flavors in there. So that's why we find things like Velvet Valerian. That's why we find things like Grenadine. We're not just flavoring this with a little bit of sugar, you know. We're finding all those big flavors so that this whole thing can stand up to all of those mixers. So you will find that a lot of highballs may seem like they are boring. Famous highballs include things like the whiskey highball. It's just whiskey and soda water. But if you, and I think we've talked about this before, if you want to kill a day on YouTube, go watch Japanese bartenders argue about whiskey highballs, about the bubbles per square centimeter, and which whiskeys work best. For me personally, I think Topo Chico and Suntory Toki, Suntory Toki works best. Kind of tastes like fizzy apple juice. Anyway, but you need to find those big flavors in there. You're not done. We're gonna come back to you. We're gonna figure this one out. That's the idea so far, guys. Those are 2 cocktails that we're trying to get in here. We have a lot more fun cocktails that we're gonna be trying here soon. We're gonna even see if it is viable at all to do a flip cocktail in the conference. I know that unless you are at Trader Joe's at 7 a.m., eggs are incredibly expensive. So I don't know if we'll be able to even get a egg cocktail going, but we're gonna figure it out anyway. That's what I got for you guys. Apologize for all of the technical difficulties. Any chance this works? Nope. Hello. Anyway, I'm gonna make a stop when I'm driving. Do it. Absolutely. Make a stop. Yeah, happy belated birthday to Bon Bon. My goodness, how do I not have that in my calendar? Kyle, put that in my calendar, please. I need to know what the yeah, Dougie G. I made that face many times. Cocktail's missing something, don't know what. Yeah, it's missing a little something. The absinthe is there. We wanted that absinthe in there. I did put the absinthe in there, right? 100%. It's just missing a little something. We're gonna keep going on the Dr. Cush cocktail. I love a Dr. Funk cocktail, so we're gonna make our own version of following that, but we're gonna make it even more tiki than it was. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it, Paul Bellamaro. There. Could you use garbanzo bean juice? I could use garbanzo bean juice. Agua fava, I believe is what they call agua fava. Means bean water. Probably could. It's just a matter of how much trouble I want to put the punch bunch in to go. Saline or allspice dram? Oh, we'll try some allspice dram. What, don't I have a big bottle of allspice dram? Didn't I make allspice dram at some point? Oh, you know what? It's in the storage. Okay, we'll use this a little bit. Try it. 1/4 ounce. Always do stuff by 1/4 ounce when you're adding it in. You'd be surprised how much a 1/2 ounce of some of these ingredients can be. Give this a little stir. Obviously, saline is another great. Oh yeah, obviously saline's another great one to do. Sometimes saline just makes everything that you got in there taste a little bit better. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good. I start to lose the absinthe in the allspice dram, but we're gonna figure it out. All right, guys. I said that we were going to have a choppy bunch of shows this week. I was incorrect. We are going to be able to do the shows this week. We will be doing a show on Tuesday where we will be doing Tiki Tuesday. We will have a behind the scenes on Thursday. So join us when you can, Tuesday, Thursday. Saturday is sort of up in the air. It will most likely, we will have a guest. If we can do it, we will have a guest on. But if we can't do it, then we will be back as soon as we can after that. But this week, the weekday shows are normal, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Remember, these classes will always remain free. Except I'm charging the camera now because this little guy is not pulling his weight. I'm going to start taxing him. Oh, Valentine's. Yeah, what day is Valentine's Day? That Friday? Yeah, maybe we'll do, you know what? Maybe we'll do Valentine's Day cocktails on Thursday. Oh, you know what we have to do? Gosh. Oh, that's right. Book club. Book club on Monday. Yes, book club on Monday, guys. We're going to be meeting here on YouTube for book club. I will probably have a panel so that you can join and talk about it. I think that book club is no fun if it's just me lecturing you guys about a book. I want to know what your favorite scenes are, what you thought of the different characters, if any of them were particularly memorable to you. And any themes that you guys are finding. Themes like we're going to definitely talk about hunger as a theme, no doubt about it. We will definitely talk about critics throughout it. There is the very first two chapters are pretty blatantly a kind of a misogynist, like a misogyny thing. We'll deal with like how Hemingway deals with women, especially since Gertrude Stein is the one that is doing the misogyny, and Big Papa is the one that is fighting against it. We're going to talk about all that stuff when we come to it. A little self-hate and youth. Those are going to be a lot of the themes we're talking about. So bring your thoughts on what we are dealing with there on Monday. Same time, we'll start here at 6. Wear your pajamas. We'll make a cocktail, or we'll probably just have a cocktail ready to go because I think book club might take a while. So Kyle will not be showing up at book club. Unfortunately, he has already let me know that he does not want to be part of book club. So does the 2024 D&D Players Handbook 5e? It absolutely does. So maybe we'll read the 2024, the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons handbook at some Dungeons and Dragons handbook at some point for book club. But for right now, we are going to finish up with a movable feast, Hemingway's time as a young man in France. Remember, guys, these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. We do have a Patreon, we have a Venmo, and we have a PayPal. That keeps the bar financially going. We do not sell drinks, so we usually just sell... I don't know what we're selling. To be very honest, I have no idea what the product is. I just turn on the cameras, most of the time. Little jerk. And then, yeah, so if you guys are interested in supporting the bar, then Patreon, Venmo, and PayPal are great ways to do it. If you don't want to do that, then go ahead and please recommend this show to others. Find other people that might like a show where they can, tell me how to fix my cameras. If you guys have anybody like that, that would be a great person to send in here. And if you can't do that, remember we do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Any day with a T, that is Dr. Cush Day. So show up here at Dr. Cush Exotic Drinks for the product that we are selling, which is, of course, community. There we go, Kyle. Way to say the right thing. Yes, you guys are the best community on the internet, no doubt about it, without even checking other communities on the internet. We are clearly the best one. If you guys want to sign up for my class, my seminar in Arizona, Tiki Oasis, at aztikioasis.com. My seminar is the very first cocktail seminar of the weekend. I start you guys getting drunk, and then you guys can stay however you want to after that. It's at 1 o'clock on Friday. And there we go. And here's a Go Birds. Go Birds. Go Birds. Are the Cardinals still in it? I doubt it. Anyway, thank you, Old Man Zombie. Good to see you. As always, I don't see it on Tiki Oasis. It's not Tiki Oasis. It's AZ Tiki Oasis. You got to go to aztikioasis.com, go to seminars, and you can buy it right there. I'm gonna try and sneak as much alcohol into you guys as I can. So I'm all about screwing over the man. So thank you guys so much for showing up. Watch these people. These next people are the ones that are supporting the show financially. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Watch these guys. These are my patrons. And how about we see each other on Tuesday for Tiki Tuesday, where we will be doing tiki drinks. Fun. Yeah. All right. We'll reset. Here's Keith Austin. What's up, Keith? Keith does the music for the show and is also allowed to stay after. So, Keith, you're allowed to stay. Everybody else, watch what we're doing.
Wow.
The soundboard worked the whole time. Let's get a good soundboard.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga? Bye.
We forgot to sing happy birthday. Let's do it real quick. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bon Bon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bob.